as a graphic artist, sometimes when you have to take on a project, you have to price accordingly to the point that people think, oh man, why so high? And a lot of times it's really not that high. They just ignore all the details that they're asking for. Okay, so you're asking for something customized, but you also want it to fit an area that's normally not printed on. So that detail in itself is going to take time to position it as well as press it to make it fit. So even when you're making it, you got to design it to fit as well. So it's a lot that goes into that, especially if it's something that's not a normal thing. Like, okay, I do t-shirts. If somebody wants something on some pants, it's not difficult. It can be done, but you have to consider how it's going to be done. So you're going from an image that on a shirt, maybe that's about 12 to 14 inches in width. Sometimes the height can be about 17 inches. But now you want something that's 24 inches. 24 inches long or longer. That in itself is going to take, a special, I guess, sizing in making the image. Yeah, you can piece smart it and put things together piece by piece, or you can get it printed out as one whole piece so that it's likely to be more perfect when you place it down. But when you start getting to dimensions past 15 in length or width, right now with that you're going to pay a little bit more. Not just the customer, but the person who's purchasing the image to put on there is going to pay a little bit more. A regular printer is going to do by 8.5 by 11. I used to have a printer that did 17 by 10 or 17 by 11. So that printer could do more than the 8.5 by 11. But then when people started wanting bigger, I had to kind of like put things together, like do like puzzle piece, little piece, and like map it out or lay it out so that it fit together. But sometimes you can see the evidence of that being done. No matter how perfect I place it down, you can see the evidence. Probably should roll my windows up. But you can see the evidence that I put it together. Sometimes the print color didn't always match perfectly. It was always something that you had to contend with. And so you don't want to be printing out multiple sheets of the same thing, because of course you're only getting paid for what you use, and you're losing on everything that you don't use. So you want to do it once. Again, that paper and what you're printing on is expensive. That, and then you got to tend to the labor. I did some shirts today that required me, putting some images on the sleeve. So I have a small press for that. I try not to use my big press, because then you're gonna end up putting deep creases in there and they're hard to get out. So I use a small, so that means I have to plug that up. It's more time. I have to place it more time. When you're just doing one image, simple. But you got like 6-7 images on something where you have to do one at a time, you can't do them all together. Time consuming. Time is money. A lot of people don't get that. They want what they've done, they want their finished product, but they don't want to, accommodate for the time that's being, taken to make it. So if I'm gonna make $10 on something, but it takes me an hour to do, that's a loss. Okay, that $10 is not profit anymore, because I could have went to work and made my hourly wage, which is more than $10 an hour. I've actually came up at a loss. My time was not being valued. I wasn't getting paid my time worth. And that in itself, on my part, that's devaluing myself. It's not wise. But just wanted to talk on that for a bit. Shalom.